Side by side in Londonderry, Labour and Conservative Prime Ministers. They said leaving the EU would be bad for the unity of the UK and destabilising for Northern Ireland. In the 1997 general election, between them, they got 3/4 of the nation's votes. Remain hopes the sight of old foes bearing the hatchet will convey the stakes at play and the breadth of their support.
This is important for the United Kingdom, for Northern Ireland, for our relationship with the Republic of Ireland, and for the strategic future of all of these islands together. Thank you.
The referendum itself seems to have a focus on the upper classes and the conservative side of things. So what reasons would you put to the working class to stay in the EU?
Well, I'm working class. I come from Brixton.
But the Remain camp wants Labour connecting with its traditional vote. One strategist said it was one of their biggest problems. People who identify with Labour don't know which side the party's on. In London, the Mayor Sadiq Khan and others were trying to address that.
Every Labour MP, councillor, member, supporter and trade union members in Britain. It's up to us. The responsibility is ours. We don't want to look back in 2 weeks' time and think, did we do enough?
West Bromwich, just west of Birmingham, exactly the sort of area that worries Remain. Labour, but deeply Eurosceptic.
If they did leave, I don't think it'll be as bad as people make out.
The economy's been wrecked anyway for the last 5 years. So what difference is it if it's wrecked for another 2 or 3? As a straw poll, I've probably asked 30 blokes, and he's the only one who's stopping him. So it's 95%.
Your mate says you're in quite a minority.
Yeah, appear to be.
Does it feel like that?
Yeah, especially at work, so the only one.
It's 9 months since Jeremy Corbyn committed the Labour Party to campaign for Remain. In West Bromwich, you wouldn't know it. Are they for in or for out, do you think, the Labour Party?
I'm not certain, Bob, but I think Labour wants Ackley out, I think. From what I know, I think Labour does one out. It's just him.
It's just David Cameron who wants to stay in.
It is, that's what I'm saying.
Do you have a sense where Labour is on this, in or out? The Labour Party?
Oh, this is difficult to answer with Labour. I would say with the Labour, I would say no.
But you think they're for out?
Yeah.
Would it surprise you if I told you they're for in?
They're for in? Oh.
Do you have a sense of where Labour is on this? Are they for staying in or leaving, do you think?
Well, I thought they was for leaving, but apparently it looks as though they're stopping on. They want me to stop in, so...
Does that surprise you?
Well, it has really, because I've always been Labour, you know.
Which side do you think the Labour Party's on, in or out?
I think they're out. Not out. I think they're in, aren't they?
Labour.
I can't remember.
Jeremy Corbyn visited a Gurdwara in West Bromwich on a campaign stop for Remain. Sadiq Khan said today Jeremy Corbyn was now working his socks off for the cause. I put it to the Labour leader, it was dangerously late in the day. We found 9 out of 10 people we stopped and asked thought Labour was for leave. It's 9 months since you started backing Remain. Do you take some responsibility for that?
I find it very surprising that they would say that. It's quite clear that we are for Remain in order to protect the advances we've made, particularly in working conditions, but also to try and improve conditions and environmental conditions across Europe. That's why we're in for a Remain vote. I'm very surprised at those figures.
Some people in the Remain campaign aren't surprised at all. They say they're tearing their hair out at how Labour identifiers don't know which side the Labour Party's on.
Look, it's very clear where we are. I think much of the media have been slightly obsessed with the blue-on-blue war that's been going on. I have a request to people, please think very carefully. 23rd of June isn't very far away. There are some very big issues to decide on.
Well, you talk about the blue-on-blue war. One of the things you've been clear about is you worry deeply that the hard-right faction, as you might see it, of the Tory party would be the people taking over and supervising Brexit if it happened.
Well, that's the whole issue is what happens after that. The words put out by Priti Patel, by Michael Gove, by Boris Johnson are all about tearing up regulations, all about a race to the bottom in social conditions and working conditions and reducing taxation for corporations at the top end. That's the kind of Britain they would develop.
If it wasn't those people supervising Brexit,
Would you be a bit more relaxed about it?
Well, it is those people supervising it. That is what's on offer at the present
That's
time.
exactly the kind of message that might have muddied the water and mean that so many people aren't sure which side Labour's on.
Well, I think people can be very, very clear. Our party, our conference, all our affiliates have voted that we wish to remain within the European Union. We're arguing for that case. Our MEPs are standing up in the European Parliament trying to defend these working conditions. Only yesterday I was demanding of the Prime Minister that we sign now the Posting of Workers Directive to prevent the undercutting of migrant workers all across Europe.
Remain is now trying to pull back Tories on set days, hoping the attention will fall on Labour events more, adjusting a Tory-dominated campaign with only 2 weeks to go. Gary Gibbon, Channel 4 News, West Bromwich.